What's going on YouTube? I'm Paddy and this is Paddy Plays. This week I managed to delve into an exclusive event showing off the brand new video game Atomfall that releases at the end of this month. Now I only got an hour and a half time to play the game, so what I've got is a little bit limited. However, I'm really excited and I hope you are too. Now if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video and turn that notification bell on so you know when the next one comes out. Now without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Rebellion Games Atomfall is shaping up to be an exciting and atmospheric dive into an alternate post-apocalyptic history of Britain. I had the opportunity to play an hour and a half of the game at an early access event, and while my experience was limited, it left a strong impression, with a setting rich in character, challenging combat and an intriguing enemy faction. Atomfall feels like a fresh take on the survival genre infused with a distinctly British charm. From the moment I stepped out of the tunnel that served as my entry into this eerie parallel version of the northern English countryside, I was immediately struck by the game's visual appeal. Lush green foliage filled the landscape, giving it a vibrant and almost inviting atmosphere. However, there was no mistaking the underlying sense of unease. The world bore the scars of some apocalyptic event, evident in its abandoned structures, rusting vehicles and overgrown ruins. One of the most charming touches was the presence of classic British red phone boxes scattered throughout the world. As a fellow Englishman, I appreciated these little details that reinforced the setting's authenticity. It felt as though Rebellion had gone to great lengths to make the world feel lived in. The remnants of the past subtly telling their own stories. There were posters peeling from walls, dilapidated pubs still bearing their old names, and the occasional hint at the world before everything changed. The contrast between the remnants of civilization and the new eerie norm created a hauntingly beautiful atmosphere that made exploration truly rewarding. However, my peaceful exploration was quickly interrupted when I encountered a hostile faction known as the Druids.
You're sent. We cannot feel out your intent.
Might be nothing. Better safe than sorry.
Cultists who were none too pleased with my presence. The first confrontation was intense, as I found myself outnumbered and outgunned. Being a long-time fan of Rebellion's previous titles, I had certain expectations for the combat, but I was pleasantly surprised by the depth and challenge. Whether engaging in melee or ranged combat, every fight required precise timing and strategy. Victory definitely wasn't guaranteed, and each encounter demanded a careful approach rather than mindless shooting. Melee combat was particularly engaging, requiring well-timed swings and blocks. The cricket bat I had equipped proved to be a surprisingly effective tool for survival, though I quickly realised that brute force alone wouldn't always be the best option. Firearms, when available, packed a punch, but ammunition was scarce, making each shot count. The weighty gunplay and impact of bullets hitting enemies made every skirmish feel intense and satisfying. One of the most satisfying aspects were the ragdoll animations when enemies fell. Seeing them collapse in a realistic fashion added weight to every victory. The game also offers a stealth option, allowing for silent takedowns. However, I did notice that the stealth kill animation seemed to repeat each time, leaving me curious about whether more variation would be introduced later in the game. While the melee combat felt weighty and rewarding, I wondered if additional takedowns, animations, or environmental interactions could add even more depth to the experience. Unlike many open world games that guide you with strict quest markers, Atomfall seems to favour a more organic approach to exploration. There wasn't a clear quest directing me to a specific location or objective, which I believe was intentional, to encourage players to uncover mysteries of the world at their own pace. On my travels, I came across a trader who provided me some insight into the Druids, mentioning they were holed up in a nearby castle. Naturally, I packed my English breakfast and trusty cricket bat and set off to investigate. Getting there was no easy task. The Druids had guards and patrols scattered all along the way, making every step towards the castle a test of endurance and strategy. However, while battling my way through was enjoyable, I did find myself wishing for more environmental interactions. There were traps, however there could have been a few more, destructible objects and hazards that could be used to my advantage. That said, these may exist further into the game. The level design was strong, the multiple routes and vantage points that allowed for a mix of stealth and combat approaches, the tension of navigating the world not knowing what lurked around the next corner added to the overall experience. Upon finally reaching the castle, I found it to be a foreboding, crumbling structure with eerie cult-like symbols marking its walls. The Druids inside were relentless, forcing me to fight my way through their ranks in a desperate struggle for survival. Eventually, I reached the High Priestess of the Druids and managed to defeat her in a battle. Just as I was eager to see the consequences of my victory and where the story would lead to next, my time with the game sadly came to an end. And although my experience with Atomfall was brief, it left me wanting more. The game feels like an English equivalent to Fallout, but with its own unique identity. Less about ghouls and power armor, and more about Cornish pasties and scousers. The rich setting, challenging combat, and intriguing factions all point towards a compelling experience waiting to be fully uncovered. What stood out most was the attention to detail in the world. The rewarding yet punishing combat and the sense of mystery surrounding the Druids and their motivations. The game's world felt genuinely unsettling at times, giving the impression that danger lurked in every shadow. The short time I spent with Atomfall was enough to convince me that this is a world worth exploring further. This was just a short taste, but one I thoroughly enjoyed, and I can't wait to dive deeper into the mysteries of this parallel world when Atomfall officially launches. And there we have it. Sadly, I couldn't get any more footage to show you. However, the game comes out on the 27th of March, so make sure you pre-order a copy on Steam now. Big shout out to Soldier Magazine, Rebellion Games and Lick PR for allowing me to get into that early access event. And yeah, again, if you like this sort of stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think about the game down in the comments. Well, I've been Paddy, this has been Paddy Plays. Until next time, peace out.